All right. Hello, Leah and Lily.
Hello.
This is an intuitive consultation with Jane DeForest and Leah and Lily, and it's May 4th, 2024. All right. So I'm going to say an opening prayer. That's fine if she doesn't want to look at me. Surround.
Okay.
Okay. If you would be kind enough to bring your awareness. I know we're rushing around, but for me to connect, I like to she's okay. She's perfect.
Okay.
She's whatever she does is what she's supposed to do unless she leaves and then we'll get her back.
Okay.
All right. Bringing awareness to your breath, please. Surrounding us with the golden white light of Christ consciousness, invoking the energy of Mother, Father, God, Great Cosmic Mother, calling on our archangels, angels, ancestors, and guides, calling on Yeshua and the Magdalene, opening the door to the other side with complete and entire protection. I ask that what comes through be for my highest good to give you both, and for your highest good to receive, Leah and Lily. In the name of unconditional love, I ask that I be of the highest service. Leah, would you be kind enough to say your name 3 times?
Leah Lacey, Leah Lacey, Leah Lacey.
All right. And Lily is not verbal, is that right? Okay.
Correct.
All right. Great. I'm going to be reading both of you. So as I'm drawing as we're talking, so that's where when I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. I like to be between 80 to 95% accurate. A good psychic is 60%. So I'm asking a lot of myself. But I'm establishing rapport with you because we're going to uh, obviously move on to Lily. Hello, Lily. Hello, beautiful soul. All right, so let's see what Lily's got to say. Yeah, Lily. So she's looking at that and she thinks, is she always interested in things like that in that shape?
Yeah, she likes to play with straps. So that's why I
Strap.
brought this backpack in here she likes to fiddle with it and look at it really close. She also has similar straps on her wheelchair and she likes to pick up the end of it and play with it.
Interesting. And she is completely nonverbal, right?
Yeah, she doesn't have speech. She definitely can vocalize though. Let me tell you, she can yell if she wants your attention or wants something.
All right, let's see what she has to say. Um, all right, there's some ancestors here on the other side, so I want to connect with those. Yeah, yeah, that's perfect. Now we got it. Okay,
Okay.
I like it. So Lily's talking about smells. Um, there's something that smells very sweet. I do believe like it's a flower or a rose, or it may even be patchouli, but it has this, or it may be a honeysuckle. And she likes this smell. I believe it's something you're spraying. Do you have a perfume like this?
I am so anti-perfume. I hate scents, but I wonder if it's either a detangler for her hair and her sister's hair, or we just started using, funnily enough, scented laundry detergent because we use everything all natural and unscented. But Zoom brand, they make soap, goat milk soap. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's got that hippie smell to it that we
Okay.
started washing our stuff in. So I'm wondering if it's that or maybe, like I said, the hair detangler.
Okay, we're talking about the hippie smell. The hippie
Okay.
smell is uh
I don't want to make you dizzy and move my phone, so I'll just leave her there.
okay. The hippie smell is most probably patchouli. She's saying that she likes the sound, this certain sounds. Um, do you have it's a high-pitched sound, I believe it's bird sounds. Can she hear birds out the window?
Oh, Will. Yes.
And you can see she's becoming more animated with this conversation, so that's awesome. She's saying that it feeds her to hear the birds. So,
Okay.
if there's a sound machine, or if you can find bird sounds on Spotify, she'd like to listen to the birds more. It's very calming to her. She likes different
Okay.
kinds of birds, and she'd like birds that are melodic, but also she likes ones that have a lower voice. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. So she's talking about scents and she's talking about smells. Um, She says that there's sounds on while you're working, like you're making cooking smells. She's very sensitive to smell.
Mm-hmm.
When you're making cooking smells, she says she's hearing something talking to you while you're in the kitchen. Would you happen to have the radio on or some kind of uh, um, audio that you're listening to while you're cooking?
Yeah, I like TikTok, so I'll like scroll and listen to TikToks while I'm cooking,
Okay.
just short videos.
Okay, so no, what we're doing right now is we're establishing that I'm actually talking to Lily. So that's
Mhm.
why we're looking for very specific things that you can confirm. I mean, the fact that you're listening to some kind of thing while you're cooking is these are very specific things, and the flower scent that she's responding to are very specific things.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
you have a small animal? Do you have a small dog or a cat?
Yeah, we have a mini Aussie.
An Ozzy.
He's
Okay,
not that he's not that small, but he's small compared to other people's dogs. Kind of
Okay.
fat.
He's fat. Okay, she's telling me about the small animal with four legs. Um, she says that the animal comes up and smells her mouth.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. She can actually see auras. She says that the dog has something attached to the top of its head. Um, she says that it is, uh, that's so interesting. What's attached to the dog's head? It's another head. Um, okay. Do you feel that this dog is a special animal, that it's at some point a dog, and sometimes you feel the presence of a greater being within the dog?
You know, I I was just thinking about this. I sometimes wonder if it's someone who I looked up to as a father figure, very close family friend. Not that it's him, but I feel like just the circumstances under which we ended up with this dog, it was all meant to be. And his birthday is a number that is really important to me, and it kind of correlates with this person. So I just feel like he's supposed to be in our lives, and that he's just like I don't know, like I don't know if he's like a guide or just another presence to help watch over us, but I definitely don't feel like he's just a dog. I feel like there's a reason he came into our home.
Okay. This is what Lily is saying, is this dog is carrying the essence of something greater than itself that enters the dog at some times and then rides on top of the dog's head. She can see energy very clearly, Lily. And so
Hmm.
she's showing awareness that of the that the animal has both the aspect of the animal, but also carries is a vehicle through which a greater energy can enter and help. Guide was the exact word I was going to use. Um, all right, let's see what else we're getting. Lily, what is it that you want to communicate?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you feeding her something that it might be cool, but it's sweet and it's something that lingers in her mouth? Like a lollipop or a popsicle?
No, applesauce.
Mm.
We
Whatever
don't
this,
really give her. Go ahead.
um, do you ever give her the tall, icy, the sort of their cylinder pops that are icy?
No, she doesn't really like cold stuff unless she's telling you she wants it. Because whenever I've tried to give her something like that, she doesn't like it. I thought it was like a texture thing or that she just doesn't like super cold stuff.
Oh, okay. She's telling me about these. It's something that's cool and it lingers in her mouth and there's a sweet aspect to it.
Interesting.
Let's see what else she's saying. She's telling me about things that are running around on her plate that she likes to eat. Now, obviously, you're not going to feed her, like ants that
Yeah.
are running around on her plate. I think there are things that move on her plate, like a peas, or this might have happened where the peas all rolled off her plate, um, or
Okay.
something on her plate was moving and she thought it was very interesting. Does that fit at all?
She eats a lot of peas, like peas and carrots,
Okay.
mix, mixed veggies and stuff. She has a really strict diet, so she eats a lot of lentil and chickpea pasta, and then we'll mix in veggies with it. So there's definitely a possibility of peas rolling off her
Rolling around.
tray.
She likes
Yeah.
she likes watching the peas move. She thinks it's very interesting. Was there
Okay.
something funny that happened where the peas fell off her plate onto the floor?
Uh, I can't think of anything, but I will tell you when she doesn't want something, she'll take her hand, she sits in a special chair with a tray in front of it, and she'll swipe it and the food will fly everywhere and go rolling on the floor, which is
Rolling on the
I
floor.
don't think
That's
it's
what she
funny.
that's what
Yeah,
does she think it's funny?
she thinks she does laugh. If she does something like make a mess like that and we go, Lil, she'll go like
That's
she's mischievous.
that's what she's telling me. She's telling me about the food that moves like little insects.
And then the dog comes around and eats it. So that's why I thought it makes sense if he comes up and he smells her mouth because he likes to eat a
Oh,
lot of her food. She eats a lot of salmon, which obviously a dog would love. So he's always when he sees that she's getting in her chair, he's whoa, she's grabbing the phone. I would
so
let you, but I don't want you to hang up by accident.
so notice that she's moving closer to me. Now that we're talking about her, she's moving closer to me.
And we're talking about her favorite topic, which is food.
Right.
Hey,
Um,
Lil.
she likes things that move. Do you ever have any kind of thing that moves that reflects light? For example, has crystals on it, like a strap that reflects the light.
Hmm,
She likes things that reflect
not
light, so
sure.
she's requesting things that move that have refract light.
Okay.
She likes watching. Now, notice that she's touching her eye while we're talking about looking at something. So,
Yeah.
in my
She
opinion,
does that a lot, just so you know. It's one of her stims, but it could be. Where you going, girl?
well, it can't go unnoticed that the minute we started talking about something for her to look at, she started talking about her eye. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to assume she understands what I'm saying. Um, let's see what else. Is she okay there?
Yeah. She
Yeah,
won't fall off or anything. I'm gonna see if I could set this down. I just wonder if the light is
the light's fine.
okay. Oops. Okay.
Okay, let me see what else she has to say. Um, so we've established the animal, and we've established the movable food and the light. Um, do you have any kind of crystals that hang in front of the window in her room?
Oh, I have no, not in here, but I do have crystals hanging. I mean, I collect crystals, so I have kind of crystals everywhere.
She's talking about them. I'm gonna I'm going to actually. All right, so where are we? Let's see what she's talking about. She's talking about the crystals that are refracting light. She
Okay.
says that the light, she likes the crystals as they move. Uh,
Okay.
and, and as she watches them with the light, she's she's saying that color color light that has different colors has different sounds.
Oh.
So she's able to perceive um she says that there's someone that's non-physical that sits in a chair and he sits with her. He's looks like an elf. Um he's I think he's her primary guide and he looks like an elf. He's got a green suit on and he's got a hat on. Um
Oh,
no, she's looking right at me. I think this is really interesting. Yeah, he sits in a chair with her in her room. Does she have like a crib?
and
Okay. And does her where she's sleeping, is there a gate across it?
no. Is she showing you a gate?
Yeah.
We have a gate blocking the entryway into the kitchen because she'll go in there and eat whatever she can get her hands on, which she has severe food sensitivities. But she'll also like clear the countertops and break stuff, so we have to keep her out of the kitchen, and she'll stand at the gate a lot because she wants to be in there.
Okay, she's calling it a crib. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's hey Lil.
Do you have anything you want to anyway, she's telling me about her guide, and her guide is looks like an elf, or at least is expressing himself like a magical elf. Um, and
That
he will play games with her. He plays games by throwing balls of light up and catching them, and throwing balls of light and catching them. So, does she sometimes watch as if something's moving like this around the room?
wow, that's awesome. I don't really know because she makes a lot of movements and stuff, but I will definitely pay attention. Also, I remembered the fan in our living room, it has two pull strings, and one has, I'm sure it's plastic, but it looks like a little crystal ball,
Yeah,
um, to indicate that that's the light. Maybe it's not a ball, but it's a little, it refracts light because it's got all those facets on it to show you that that's the one for the light, and then it's got like a wooden one for the fan. And she hangs out in there all the time.
she
She likes to
loves
lay
that.
on the coffee table, which is directly under it all the time. So I'm wondering if she's looking at that. And then in my office, which is upstairs, it's the only thing upstairs that's finished, I have crystals hanging from the entryway to the office. So I'm going to have to see if she could see that from her vantage point, if she can see the light reflecting off of those.
She loves the reflected crystals. The
Oh my gosh, just
She
an
loves
excuse to hang more crystals around. I love
she
it.
loves
Love
it.
it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
That's cool about her guide too. So, can you get any more info? Is this a family member or like is it really an elf from, from like another dimension? That's awesome.
you bet. Uh, I wanted to say, so you can see the pic. I don't have myself here, so I can't see what you're seeing. For some reason, my view is gone. But it's his head is right on top of her head. So,
Wow.
and I'll be sending you this. But this, meaning to say that this elf is actually very close. So because of her disability, perhaps, um, she has a primary guide that is with her 24/7. Do know that. Now, to answer your
Okay.
question about the guide, um, yeah, the guide sits in a chair, he crosses his legs. He's funny. He has a chevron pattern. You know what a chevron is?
Uh-huh.
Okay, they're like triangles.
Yeah.
Does she have anything that has that pattern in her a piece of a garment or any kind of decoration that has a chevron pattern?
I don't know. I'm looking.
If you don't, she would really like that.
Okay. You like chevron and crystal?
She loves crystals and chevrons. She likes different kinds of light.
Okay.
Um, and she likes the smell, particularly of flowers.
Okay.
She likes the sound of birds and moving water. Is there any kind of moving water? that you have in the house? Do you have a fountain or anything outside that is moving? Babbling brook?
No, we're always doing laundry though. Maybe she hears that. She loves baths. I know that she loves being in water. She's definitely a water girl.
So, there I would consider, when she's in the bath, allow a tiny, drip drip of water while she's in
Okay.
the bath because she likes the idea of moving water. It's very calming to her.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
she understands that water has intelligence. So you could experiment with her. Did you get any crystals while you were like any of the crystals when we were at the gem show? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you can have fun with her where you're putting the crystal in. I mean, you'll have to wash the crystal properly, but put the crystal in the water and then she can drink the water. She gets
Yeah.
she gets energy from the crystals. She particularly likes um amethyst. Do you have amethyst?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
She's responding if that strap had obviously she's putting it in she might put it in her mouth so you wouldn't want her to swallow something. But if you could find some kind of a strap that you could get different types of straps that might have fabric that we used to have a great fabric store around here that had
What's so funny? Do you know why she's laughing? She just pushed me off the bed and she's laughing.
it,
What?
yeah, let me check in and see what's going on. Just give me 1 second, please. I was just watching her. Let's see what she's saying. So she is seeing balls of light.
That was right.
She's seeing balls of light. Let's see what else she's seeing. They're it's like they're like little beings that are balls of light that are flying together. They may be what we would call fairies.
That's really interesting that you said that because my 6-year-old has sees things and I wonder if she's seeing fairies and I have okay, why are you kicking me? My 6-year-old will wake like if she wakes up in the middle of the night to go pee, she'll be rubbing her eyes and she'll talk about seeing the bugs. And I'm like, what bugs? Like we
The
have bugs in here?
bugs.
And they're like she said they're not fireflies. She's not actually seeing them because she's looking at them and I'm standing right there and I don't see them. And I can only describe them as like little fairies. And she said that they come together and they'll form a shape.
That's
But
right.
if you look at them, they'll dissipate. So she's like, so, and I asked her to describe them to me. And she said it half asleep before where she can see them. So I don't think she's like playing a trick on me. Like she's mentioned them wide awake. She's mentioned them half asleep. And she's like, okay, so if I'm watching TV and I see them, they'll like form into a shape, but then if I look at them, they go away. And I just I totally believe in all that stuff, and I believe kids are more open to it too. So I was just trying to figure out like what is it that she's seeing? Are they fairies? Is it a spirit? Like what is it?
Yes,
So it's
exactly.
interesting that you're saying that about her too.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Leah. That's so interesting because what I got is that they came together and they're laughing and then they're moving around as a collective and then they're moving away. So they come together. Is she leaving?
This has been awesome. And yeah, I mean, you're doing this pro bono, so I don't want to take your time another time um, because we ended early, but I just want to say this is really cool. I did have a couple questions, so if we could talk and she's not here either right now or another
Let's do it
time.
right now. Yeah,
Oh,
right now.
yeah, cool.
I do want to summarize for you.
Yeah.
So I feel what Lily, and this is actually better that you and I can wrap up in this way because we're able to focus in a way that we couldn't before.
Yeah.
So I believe what Lily is saying is um, She's acknowledging some very specific things, which is what is required for me to be able to uh, feel confident that I'm actually talking to Lily, such as um, the smells that you've just started using, the food that moves, the dog
Mhm.
that smells her mouth, and the small animal, um,
Mhm.
the things that you're listening to while you're making food smells. So these are the crystals that are in the house. So that is a basket of things that are very specific that tells us that we're talking to, oh, and the crib, that she's in a crib, which would
Yeah.
be um, her interpretation of letting me know that she's in a small contained area and that there's a gate, although they're
Yeah.
disconnected.
Yeah.
She also wants you to know how much she loves you. She's aware. There was some more that I wanted to tell you about her reaction to what you're doing. Um, she says that you get very close to her face and that you whisper things that make her feel very good, like I love you very much and you're very beautiful and you're important to me. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You,
Yeah.
you get very close to her and you whisper those in her face, in her ear, close to her face, and she really loves that. She says that you also sing songs to her, um, and that you're funny. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah. I'm goofy.
She says you're very funny, okay? Um,
Mm.
she says that, her dad, your husband is very tall.
Yeah. He's
Mhm.
6'1", I
He's
guess. Yeah.
she says she's like a giant.
Well, I'm sure from her vantage point too, he's super tall.
She says he wears, things with lines on them. I think he might wear plaid.
Hmm.
Does he have plaid shirts? Is he a plaid guy?
Um,
Or
maybe
checkered shirts?
shorts. Maybe shorts with like patterns on them. I can't picture any shirts like that though.
She's saying that there's lines on the clothes that he wears. She
Okay.
says that when he's talking on the thing, I think she's saying talking on the phone, he talks really loud. He likes things that have circles. Is he into cars?
No. Oh, maybe sports. He loves.
Oh,
He's been watching basketball lately because that's on, and football. He's big, really big into football.
okay. So she says that he's able to do two or three things at one time. So he's working with his hands and it looks like he's playing the piano or he's working on the computer and he's also doing something over here. She says he's very busy and he's juggling several things at one time. Does that make sense?
Like physically.
I don't know.
Hmm. Well, he plays guitar. So maybe that's one thing. He'll have his headphones in and listen to music, and he does the dishes. He's like the main dish person in the house, so he's always emptying the dishwasher, cleaning the counter, like that kind of stuff. So that might be it. Cooking, making her food, doing the dishes, the timer's going off, just juggling things, definitely.
She's honoring that he's able to juggle all these things at one time. Um, she says that he kisses you on the side top of your head right here. And that he likes the way you smell. She's very aware of smells. Your
He's
husband,
talking about me,
you,
Joel, my husband and me.
yes, he kisses you on
Oh,
the top of your head, not the very tippy top, but sort of like the top, and he smells your hair and he loves the way you smell. She says that her dad is funny and she says that she can see his thoughts, his thought bubble. She said in his thought bubble there's people running around. So he may be thinking about football because people or basketball because people are running around. So he's thinking about these things. Um,
I'm sure. I'm sure. He's obsessed. He loves it. So I'm sure he thinks about it all the time.
okay, so she can see his thought bubbles.
That's
Um,
awesome.
She says that her parents love each other very much, um, and that they sometimes squish together into one person. This
Huh?
this may be
Hug?
when this may be when you're hugging, sharing an idea as one. She says that you both squeeze together and to make one being, not one person, but the two of you make a being, like two
Aw.
trees that have grown together into one tree.
Mm.
Okay. She says, she's talking to me about fish. Do you have a pond with fish in them?
No?
No. Um, well, fish is somehow important. I'm not quite sure why.
Live fish, or are you just getting fish?
Fish. I just give fish.
That's all she eats. She can't eat chicken or beef
She's
anymore
only
or
eating
eggs,
fish. Okay, she's
so she only eats
acknowledging.
fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, she likes moving water. It's calming to her. If you would consider getting some kind of a small fountain, they're inexpensive to have the
Mm.
water moving. She wants to look at the water. She likes touching water. She actually understands that water has consciousness. So putting a crystal into water changes the quality of that water. Um, she's saying that you just telling she's telling me some random stuff. Uh,
Interesting.
she's talking about the roof. There's a sloped roof on the house. Uh,
Hmm.
that is it. It's like it comes down low. Is there a part of the house that does that?
Not super low, but we do have one side. It is a really big slope on one side, more so than the other. It's
That's what
not.
she's telling me.
It's not even. It's
That's
like
what yep, that's
this.
what she's telling me about that slope. And she's
Okay.
saying she watched things rolling down. Do you have some kind of tree next to it with pine cones that roll down the roof?
We do have a couple trees. I could see something falling out of it. Maybe an acorn? No, I don't know.
Something rolled down the roof, or she likes to watch things roll down the roof. She's just telling me some random thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see what else she's saying. She's saying that the fairies pop out of the ground and pop back down into the ground. So if you notice that she's looking at the ground and laughing, there's fairies and elves and so forth that are popping up and down. When she's laughing, she's being entertained by the fairy folk, if you will. Does that
That's
make sense?
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, do you have a lava lamp?
No.
She wants I think about getting her a lava lamp.
Okay.
She likes watching things move.
That would be cool. I could do that. I just have to put it somewhere safe so she doesn't break it.
Uh,
Maybe up on a shelf or something so she could see it, but she can't reach it.
right. Um, okay, well, you'll figure it
Yeah.
out. But she likes
Yeah.
watching things move.
Okay.
She thinks it's very interesting. It's
I was
like
thinking about getting a light that projects something up onto the ceiling. Like they make a bunch of different kinds nowadays that look like stars or the planets or whatever. I wonder if she would like that.
try that. Absolutely.
Okay.
I think that lava lamp, because she's showing me she likes things being born and
Okay.
moving. She likes when things evolve out of things and then go away, sort of like a drop comes out, is born, and then it has a life and dies. She likes the cycle of life. She
Okay.
understands the cycle of life. Let me see what else she says. She says that her dad picks you up. Does he
Hmm.
pick you up in his arms or does he pick you up and turn you around and hug you?
We hug a lot.
Okay.
Like we'll be standing in the kitchen and he'll, grab me or whatever.
She's telling me about that. She likes that. She says
Hmm.
that there's um, colors and sounds that come out of you guys when he picks you up.
Aw.
She's calling it picking you up.
That's interesting. So she sounds like she has synesthesia, which is when you hear colors have sound or taste or smells. It depends on the type of synesthesia. It's a condition,
mhm.
but it could, maybe it's a spiritual gift and people just call it a condition. You know what I mean? But I've learned a lot about it just watching like TikToks, people saying like, your name Barbara smells like grass or whatever, you know? So colors, and because you said before that she hears colors. Is that what you said?
I don't remember, but I
Like that. I'll watch it back.
watch it
That's really
back. But what I do feel she's perceiving is, it may be what you said that, I forget the word, but I know what you're talking about. It's like where you smell color. Uh,
yeah.
but I would say that may be true, but I see it more as she's able to perceive the non-physical world.
Okay.
So she's able to perceive energy, she's able to perceive fairies, she's able to understand the dog has a spirit on top of its head. To me, from
Hmm.
a shamanic perspective, these things are more real than the physical world. A shaman would understand that the real world, or someone who's been able to transcend duality, someone who's what we would call enlightened. I'm not enlightened, but I'm shamanically trained. So what that means is what is non-physical is real, and what is in this physical world is illusion or Maya.
Yeah,
That's the premise.
that
So
makes sense.
yeah, I'm just reporting. I'm not trying to convince. But what she's saying is, what I believe she's saying is that she's able to perceive the real world that is transcendent beyond the physical world. So she's reflecting the love that you and your husband share. She's noticing um, the power of smells, the existence of fairies, um, the power of crystal diffuse um, prismatic light, so light that's using that's being fractionated, not fraction, uh,
Refracted, reflected.
yes, thank you. 2 points. Thank you, sister. After I've been reading all afternoon, and so it's hard sometimes to I lose some cognitive functions because I'm walking between the worlds. So she's telling you about that. She's on
Okay.
top of telling you about, food that moves or dogs that smell her mouth or that she's in a crib. Um, she wants to let you know, she's letting me know to let you know that we're really talking to her because we're nailing things that are real. That's
Right.
that's so I'm trained in a technique called remote viewing, which is a military application. It's very specific. And accuracy is what I'm really looking for.
Hmm.
Because I mean, anybody can say, uh, yeah, your daughter loves you, and she loves when you kiss her and when you feed her. And she loves that, anybody can say that. Not everybody can say she likes when the food moves across the floor onto the table.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that is what shows my accomplishment, but it also is a doorway to let you know the whole basket of things that I communicated, that she wants me to communicate to you that we can't prove, like how much she loves you, how much she appreciates how you and your husband loves each other, how what she's looking for, which is I told you, light and moving things and moving water and water sounds and bird sounds, flower smells, um, why she's laughing. A lot of why she's laughing is she's watching the fairy folk. That she has a guide that's sitting with her that is, I do not believe this guide is an elf.
Hmm.
What I do believe is that her guide is showing himself as an elf.
Okay.
Why does that matter? I don't know. I mean, I think the fairies that are moving as light are fairies. I think they're different beings. I think the elf is a guardian angel that's presenting himself like an elf for whatever reason.
Okay. Interesting.
In other words,
Um,
she's got a guardian angel. She's being protected, and it's a being that's with her all the time. She's aware of this being, and this being is protecting her and entertaining her and with her. And I want to just comfort you with that.
that's awesome.
Yes. Do you have any
I
questions, sister? And also, I do want to say, I think once we've established rapport, what might be nice is if we do this once a month, and we can start to build up a rapport and a conversation around it. We won't need to do this preliminary work, and we can get right down to the meat of it.
Cool. Yeah. Um, I always wish that I could talk to her because I want to find out, like, what is there anything that I need to know that is, she's in pain about, or is, we just started this spelling therapy I started to tell you about before things went awry over here, but is she understanding that? Is it, are we going to make progress with that? Is she really getting it? Is there anything she absolutely hates that she just wish she could scream to me if she could talk? I would love to know, because it's a lot, your kid, but also a lot of it's a guessing game when you can't talk to them. So